this investigation into the Prime Minister.
Morning, ones and ones. You know, if you understand or even pay any attention to the laws that govern society, you realize that some of these laws are outdated, antiquated, if you will, and they make no sense in this era. You know, I was just stopped by a police officer and he served me a ticket. He said that he wanted to give me 2 tickets, and I said to him, boy, you know, I won't be able to pay both of those. So he extends some leniency and he only grant me 1 ticket, which I am greatly appreciative of. But after I drove off, I was reflecting on the current state that we human beings live in or live under, right? Laws made by men to govern men, right? And these laws and these systems, they are outdated. Like for this modern era, like I think some of these things are just outdated when you really check it out. You have to pay your vehicle insurance, but yet still, if you're driving for 10 years and nothing happens, it's not like somebody's going to say, oh, this person has had no accidents, so you know what, let us give them a portion of the money that they have paid, right? The government, they put these laws in place to say, okay, I make this rule, and if you break this rule, you're going to have to pay. And what do they do with the money? They say that your car have to be fit to drive on the road, but there are no roads for people to drive on. No roads. Like every time it's either you're dropping a pothole or you have to be veering off to the side because you don't want to hit your vehicle. Like, come on, man. Come on. I always see people get on social media, everybody upset and up in them feelings talking about what the government is doing from what them not doing. But you know what, why I have to chime in? Because really and truly, it's just annoying. It is so annoying, right? That you have to be paying, like literally, you have to be paying for the damn air that you breathe, right? Nothing is cheap, nothing is free, and guess what? Not like I want it to be free, right? But make it damn affordable and make the law make sense. You understand? When it is in what you call it now? I can't even find the word right now to express myself. But essentially what I'm trying to say is this. Governments, you need to get it together, because some of them laws are just antiquated and people are tired. We are tired. We cannot afford anything, and you can't even make a drive without policeman a breathe down your shoulder, writing your ticket left, right and center. It just disgusting, man.
Wanna remember when Proto-J said enough politicians take a donation, so enough criminal will never see a station? Remember though? Now guys, it has come to my attention that Jamaican taxpayers, aka poor people, will have to foot the $15 million per month bill to pay SSL employees. Yes, the same SSL that allegedly stole the millions of dollars. Yes, we taxpayers will have to pay them. Now, first and foremost, I want to say whatever spliff the minister bun, I beg you to give me a puff out of it, because I saw me want to feel mad. Now, you come with me now, right? Millions missing from Ministry of Health, we not say nothing. Millions stolen from Ministry of Education, we not say nothing. We not pay this money with teeth it. Millions! I will still not say nothing. Then you know, we reward on yourself 300% salary increase. We make recognize, you know, 1 or 3 days. We make recognize. I don't give public sector a drop in our bucket. Little more nice make, but we move on. But somehow, some way, you guys have conjured up the audacity and decided that we taxpayers to pay them thief here, white collar criminal, we to pay them out of what we now get paid $15 million per month. Jamaican people, me talk to now because I don't talk to them thief. Yeah. How much longer are we going to sit down and allow these people to have we like puppet pan string? This is the boldest, most brazen administration I have ever witnessed. We know politicians are thief overall. We know the lick and we know what they do. But them people are thief in front of we. Them bold as fuck. You see when Skilly say when they don't grimy? First thing on a bowl like me, and them people ended that talk about. And it just goes to show how superior these people feel they are. How immortal, how untouchable them think them be. Right now, me I tell you to how the things are run. Me not believe so them people should not walk in a broad daylight and feel safe. The safety where them feel comes as a result of us Jamaican people just sitting down and taking whatever bullshit them do. People a little bit of them enough away. No, me not incite violence or riot, but how much longer are we going to sit down and witness the injustice from poor people? I mean, I say Jamaican people because you have Jamaican people who live life. They might live lavish, the upper 1%, because the gap has further increased. So you have 1% who live good and 99% that we are suffer. And I can't believe say the 99% that we sit down and allow this to happen. They say some people not care things till things reach them doorstep. Everybody uptown have automatic gate, you know. Or them gate man and security. And we down here in the barracks. After you look over our shoulder, you know, these people are so comfortable. I tell you so them feel like them infallible. Yo, let me come off for this.
Corruption. Next use a social commentary. And please don't scroll. Take time out to listen to what I'm saying. Because it's important to you and your children and your grandchildren. Let me tell you something. Most people don't want to hear. Corruption, nepotism, cronyism doesn't just steal money. It steals a country's future. Every time public money is stolen, misused, or given to friends instead of real projects, that money was supposed to build roads, hospitals, schools, factories. Instead, it disappears. And when money disappears, productivity drops, businesses suffer, jobs disappear, and GDP goes down. That's how corruption makes a country poorer, even when it has resources. And we have a lot of resources here in Jamaica. And here's the part nobody talks about. Because they are afraid of people promising lawsuits. And is the corrupt system paying you so you don't want to get fired? If that's the case, you're a slave to the system. When foreign investors look at a country, they ask one question: can we trust this government with our money? If the answer is no, they don't invest, they don't build factories, they don't create real jobs. Credit rating agencies downgrade the country. Interest rates goes up, loans become more expensive. So now, the same corrupt government has to borrow more at higher interest rates to cover the mess they created. And who has to pay it back? You and I, and the generations after us. Not the corrupt officials, not the politician. So all we get is higher taxes, higher food prices, bad roads, poor hospitals, high inflation, no opportunities. Corruption is a silent tax on every citizen. So if you are wondering why your country is struggling, why jobs are scarce, why everything is expensive, look past the politicians' speeches. Look at the corruption, nepotism, and cronyism and ball it out, because no country can grow when its leaders are stealing its future. Now for the watchdog agencies, the NIA, the JFJ, the PSOJ, the clergy, the JAMS and the CVSS come to the front and stop being afraid to speak out on corruption, because the granny used to say, better you stand for something or we all going to fall for anything. Please remember to share, like and leave a comment.
When I was trying to reinstate after my court case completed, he told me that, I said, hey sir, can you make a phone call to the commission office and all those places for me to get reinstated? He said, so I can beg you some? Beg you some of what?
Hold on.
That's the culture.
An officer in the Jamaica Constabulary Force assigned
Yeah, I know.
to the training school.
Yes, sir.
You went to investigate a matter at another police station and you went in your uniform. You have on your police clothes.
Yes, sir.
So you're a policewoman. You
Yeah.
go down there, you're Babylon.
Right.
Go talk to other Babylon about an issue that have to do with
But because
your
of,
property.
but because of my rank as a district constable, that's how I was classified and that's how I was then.
So therefore you are really way below,
Yes,
it's not just pay grade, but way below their standards. So as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned, how dare you to speak to them like that?
Very well, sir.
High Command has revealed that it's unlawful for the cops to demand a citizen's password during a random traffic stop. The declaration comes amidst reports of police officers confiscating mobile phones during operations and demanding that citizens provide their passwords. The issue was discussed by the Police High Command today.
There's a process, and the process certainly is not coercing someone on that scene to give up their password. There's a process, and it is a court order has to be made, and so it is not right. It's not legal. Let me just say that clear. And we have since communicated to our members when that came to our attention that has been a practice.
Greed are the major cause of corruption in Jamaica since independence. Imagine a man who is a chief financial controller at the St. Anne Parish Council being caught at the airport with coke in a bag and over 70 odd pellet of coke inside of him. What could have make a man like that do that? Him not poor, him not living in poverty, him a get a decent salary, plus him have opportunity to thief some of the money. Yet still, him allow greed to take over with him. That's him go get involved in a coke. Him never use a courier. Him himself a transport in him belly. Why Jamaica is so greedy? Why we in a position are so greedy that cause the country to be in so much corruption? Look what happened in a university hospital again. Greed, corruption, greed, corruption. Jesus Christ. 90% of Jamaican, if they're not involved in a corruption, supports corruption. And corruption is the main detrimental for the soul when the economy of Jamaica.
And then here are you. That is why we are saying Jamaica. Every week they confirm to the public why a husband and a wife should not be ruling over the country's affair. Because if you never know, a body and pum pum. A body and... No, it's the truth. It's the truth, Jamaica. Ball out! That is body and pum pum government. Apostle, sorry, but I have to call it out for what it is. It's body and pum pum government a rule. Ball out!
Whoa, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament.
I made the conflict of interest. Because when you as the opposition leader want the referee to ref in your favor, remember that the referee is sleeping with one of the players on the field. What can go so? When the referee must have moved in favor. Yes. The referee member said the referee have marital affairs with the person. versus the next one over there, so Jamaica. How can it be a balanced equilibrium?
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people.
It is a conflict of interest, Jamaica. Call it out. How then remember, here is Mr. Speaker to Prime Minister, At the end of the day, as Shaquille Ramsey said last week, they have a marital contract, Courtney. They have a marital contract. You think the husband going to deny his wife and the wife going to deny his husband? All if the marriage is in rock and pum pum, rakatam tum tum.
Ball out! Whoa! Yo, yo.
Now I'm going to address this classic argument that some officers, I am here defending my rights because I'm tired of this thing where you drive and then just walk with a ticket book and then just feel like say this ticket book mean power. But let me remind us all, and especially the police officers out there, that you walk with a ticket book and there is something called a claim form. You have to have a ticket book and I have a claim form. Everybody have access to a claim form. In fact, you have to prepare it yourself. I write your name and just like a ticket, I write down my claim and claim against you whatever amount of money, $1 million, $2 million for your unlawful action, and file that in the Supreme Court. Just like how you will file your ticket in the petty session court of the petty session court. I will file a claim form and file it against you for your unlawful actions. Unlike your traffic ticket, the police traffic ticket that will give 30 days to pay, and then after that prosecution may or may not come. The claim form gives you 14 days to respond, to say you get it, and if you don't say you get it, default judgment for the amount for your unlawful actions. So let us understand ourselves that the police has the power to issue a ticket for the offense, and so does a citizen. A regular ordinary citizen has the power to issue or serve a claim form. It's very basic and it's very simple. You don't even need an attorney to help you with one. I can teach you. You can comment and let me know how many of you really want to know how to do a claim form. Because this whole random acts of, especially the one who is failing to comply with an officer's command, we will battle it out in the courts. You don't need attorneys, people. Don't you dare think you need a lawyer to represent you in these traffic violations of your rights. I can teach everybody the general knowledge on how to get these things done. It's basic. The claim form is basic. It's not much. You just write what happened, state the facts in the claim form. What are you claiming? I claim against the claimant, constable, whatever. Or you claim against the attorney general, because that's going to be the prime defendant number one in who you sue. The amount of, you claim for an order, a declaration that the stop was unlawful and was done without reasonable probable cause, and you seek the amount of damages for false imprisonment, malicious prosecution, blah blah blah, in the amount of $10 million. And if the officer, who will most likely, as far as I'm concerned, need an attorney to help them to defend that one, then you have to find the money to pay the attorney to defend that claim. It's a civil claim. So like I said, this attitude that I'm getting from a lot of officers who are saying, I will just issue ticket. I'm gonna reach out a spare ticket. Send the ticket, come. And when I consider it to be without reasonable probable cause, when I consider prosecution to be malicious, then when you detain me against my will and without lawful authority, then if it irritates me enough, then you will see the claim form coming at your door. Either the process server serving it, or I serve it myself. with that claim form, sir, you violate my rights, I want $250,000. That seems to be the standard now. Because in that case whereby the traffic tickets issued over a period were declared unlawful, the claimant got $250,000 awarded to him for breach of his constitutional right to due process. So that sounds like a standard starting point for a violation, a basic violation of your constitutional right. It gets more, it goes further from there based on how, aggravating factors, so on and so forth. So like I said, officers, let us chill, let us cool, let us just do the job right. Because just like how you have the claim form that you can pull for, a citizen just like how the officer has that ticket book that they can pull for, a citizen, a regular citizen, can simply file a claim form for false imprisonment, malicious prosecution, and it goes on and on and on. Yep. But just remember, everybody, when you're filing a claim for false imprisonment and malicious prosecution, it's important that in that declaration section you state that if you were maliciously prosecuted or you were arrested without reasonable or probable cause. It is very important that you state that. Let us just relax ourselves and let us do the job right.
Me now stop state. I'm gonna care who want vex. Family are your biggest enemy you could ever have. Family are one of the most jealous set of people in your life you could ever find. Especially if you try and you succeed in your life. Family are the biggest enemy you can ever buck up on in your life when them supposed to be your biggest support. Remember me tell you that. Family with bad mind and grudge for the least set of things. Just if you even have a local relationship and it work out better than them and you don't have money, that alone make them with grudge you. Family are one of the biggest set of corruption you can ever have in your life as a person. May I tell you that family are one of the biggest downfall to anybody. Because them not supportive, them rather judge and grudge you. May I tell you that family youth are the biggest number one enemy you can ever have in your life. Because when them can't control you, them not like you. All of them have their favorite brother. But it's when you come out to great things, and them same family they want to claim. Your family are the biggest set of fight against, bro. May I tell you that, dog, without apology. Family no support family youth. Family no support family. Family a fight against you. That's why I'm gonna deal with most family. That me I tell you.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits only temporarily those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
This is what corruption looks like under the PPP. Dr. Fiaz Hassan, the Regional Health Officer for Region 3, is named in the abuse of office and conflicts of interest within the health sector.
For the health sector, you can see massive investment in both infrastructure and service.
This is the major investment he speaks of. Persons reported that he set up 3 companies, Premier Precision Builders and Services in his wife's name, Opa Harris, who works at Good Intent Health Center, Harris Investments in his brother-in-law's name, Tuan Harris, and Ace Plus Services in his sister's name, Mariam Hassan, all of which have been receiving millions of dollars in contracts to supply tablets, bed sheets, and the list of other items to the West Demerara Regional Hospital, most times without a tendering process. Once received, these are dispensed to the Dikendrin Regional Hospital and other health centers across the region. These companies have supplied more than 125 million in drugs, medical supplies, and capital orders from November when he took office to present, a position granted as a reward for openly supporting the PPP at the last election. We are told that Dr. Hassan sometimes gets paid for goods the companies do not deliver. This is why sometimes when you visit the hospitals and health centers in Region 3, there is a shortage of basic medications despite millions spent. Dr. Hassan ensures that these companies inflate their prices. Let me show you 2 examples how Dr. Fiaz and his family are scamming the system off the back of taxpayers. Here, 2,000 disposable bed sheets at $600 for one. Can you believe that? $600 for a disposable bed sheet, totaling $1.2 million. The company Premier Precision Builders and Services. Now online, you can get 200 pieces for $57. The exchange rate is 216.50. Let's round it off at 220. So $57 multiplied by 220, you get a total of $12,540 divided by 200 pieces will bring us to a total of $63 for one. Let's say you pay a little, your taxes and your freight, round it off to even $100. So look at the difference. $100 for one compared to $600. That's 500% markup. This is ridiculous. Let us compare the other example now. Let us look at the tongue depressor. $50 for one. The quantity supply 20,000 pieces. Online, you can see here 500 pieces for $14. So let's multiply 14 by 220, the conversion rate. You'll get $3,080 divided by 500 pieces, carry us to 6 Guyana dollars for one tongue depressor, compared to $50 he is selling a tongue depressor for. Come on, man. You're a cruel person. You don't even have a heart. This is what corruption looks like under the PPP. The procurement approvals are signed off by the very official responsible for oversight. We hope nurses, medical practitioners, and other public servants are paying keen attention. While you receive a pittance, here is a doctor promoted to RHO for being a party loyalist, siphoning off millions of taxpayers' dollars. This points to a dangerous culture where corruption is allowed to thrive under the PPP administration. The RHO reports to the regional chairman, Mr. Ayub, uncle of President Irfan. So now we must question what scale of corruption happens at that RDC office. According to sources from the office of the regional chairman, Dr. Hassan consistently provides Mr. Ayub with cutbacks in exchange for his silence. We are calling for Dr. Hassan to be fired and for an immediate independent investigation into the procurement practices for Region 3 health services. Public funds should not be misused for personal enrichment.
The girl named Stacy or whatever you want to name now, Stella Maris prep, where gunman are threatening them or kill off the whole life teacher them down there and kill out for kill and kill his sister and auntie. Bring back the people their money. Bring back the people their money. Police will lock you up. Then will fire you from the school because you put innocent people life in a danger. You're in an illegal activity. What kind of illegal activity and money business you're in with people for $50 million and you change your number and do what you want to do and the people want them things? Run back the people their money. Police start locking you up because now take people money under false pretense and a serious time now. A serious time now. You can't take people money under false pretense and know so you can't do business and change your number and stop taking people call. People are going to kill you now. But when me want to see man there, nobody kill the innocent people and pit them or nothing. Kill Stacy. As she take your money, kill Stacy.
This investigation into the Prime Minister, the allegation of illicit enrichment, is indeed the most consequential matter which has happened to us since independence. Never before in the history of Jamaica have we had a Prime Minister under investigation for corruption. And today I simply want to say this. Where are the honorable men and women in our country? Where are those men and women on whom this country has conferred national honors? Where are the professionals? Where's the private sector? Where are the church leaders? Because this will appear to you as though it is a narrow partisan political matter. It is not. It is about reaching for the very soul of our democracy. It is about the protection of our democratic institutions. Because when you corrupt an institution such as this, which as Julian and Peter have made clear, have an international reputation, when you do that, you are failing the nation and you are setting the tone for actions which undermine the institutions which must uphold our traditions and which must reflect who we are.
Beautiful and amazing people, thank you so much for always coming back. I do not take your support for granted. I truly appreciate the fact that you are amazingly supporting this channel. And guys, in today's video we are talking about the corruption in Jamaica. So third world countries and also first world countries normally faces corruption issues, but now we are going to focus on Jamaica because you know what, Jamaicans are speaking out and they are asking like who is really benefiting from this corruption. So every election that comes in, Jamaica has to talk about corruption. In every budget, they have to talk about it. Every scandal, there is a corruption. If there is a project being done, be it road, electricity, corruption. I mean, this word, I don't know if it's being misused or, you know, it's happening. So, at the moment, Jamaicans are asking one question, okay, corruption is being mentioned everywhere, but who is really benefiting? Who is really benefiting? Because many Jamaicans are saying that they do work so hard every day, every year, yet life still feels harder and harder. They are still struggling. The prices of food are still high. The rent is still high. The bills of electricity, for instance, still high. And of course, those who have jobs, they are complaining that their salaries are remaining the same year in, year out. So today in this video, we are going to talk about corruption in Jamaica, and we're not really going to focus on politics, but we are going to talk about what Jamaicans are feeling and what do they have that the system protects, that they feel like the system is protecting so much. And remember, the regular citizens of Jamaica are still struggling. People are talking, conversations are getting louder and louder, be it in the streets, be it online, be it anywhere. People are speaking, even those who are calling these radio shows, they are talking about this one word, corruption. And of course, if you listen to their voices, if you listen to the clips of the videos that we just attached here, I mean, people are frustrated. And of course, we have those who blame politicians. We have, of course, I'll understand that because, politicians at the same time, they are the ones that do the budgeting, they're the ones that do allocate, they're the ones that, run most of these projects, or rather, most of these projects are under the dockets of a politician. Of course, we have business people that are also being blamed, and so many other factors. So Jamaicans are saying that corruption is not just in government, but also in the culture, inside the family. Yeah. In fact, I should have attached all the videos that are speaking about, corruption within the family setup. And we are going to be honest about this issue, by the way, because, this issue of corruption, it touches everybody in the society and also in the world. So when Jamaicans get to hear this word corruption, most people get to think about politicians stealing money. But of course, we are not going to focus on that only. We are going to focus on the entire aspect of corruption everywhere, because many citizens, many people, be it in the streets or online or anywhere, they actually believe that corruption is much bigger than politicians stealing money. And some believe that corruption is majorly favorism, connections or networks, backdoor deals, friends helping other friends, and that networking culture. So the idea that some people play by different rules, and that many Jamaicans believe that the normal citizens rarely benefits, has brought a lot of discussion here, because according to them, they believe that powerful people stay protected whenever they are mentioned in these scandals of corruption, while the poor people, they get sacrificed. And I believe that because if you follow us many stories about corruption, the big guys will use the small guys, they'll use their accounts and everything. So when it comes to arresting anyone, you'll see that the money that was stolen went or passed through the young guy's account, and that means that they will be held liable or accountable. So the poor people, they're the ones that normally carry the burden, which is unfair, of course. But who will you blame? Because at the end of the day, these guys are like an adult. They can make their own decisions. It's not like they used a young child to do the dealings. So many young Jamaicans are expressing a lot of frustrations, and you can hear from them. They're speaking in the clips here. And I also listen to them, and that's why I'm here now to do the analysis. So many people are saying that they no longer believe the institutions are set up in Jamaica because, oh man, public trust has become a major issue now just because of the word corruption and what has been happening in the government. So recently, Jamaica and the corruption perception has really gone up, or Jamaica's corruption perception has gone up, and there has been no improvement at all. There has been no major progress at all. And if you talk about transparency, it's still like down, and that has brought a lot of confusion and a lack of clarity. And of course, even if we are talking about a lack of transparency in the government, it does not mean at all that everybody within the government is corrupt. No, we will be wrong. But at the end of the day, perception matters a lot, because perception affects trust, just by the fact that you perceive that this institution is corrupt. I mean, it affects trust, and trust will affect investment. So when we believe and have confidence in our systems, in our institutions, I can tell you that it will bring out a lot of morale, and many Jamaicans, will be willing to invest and, put their money in this organization. But, if conversations of corruption keeps going on and keeps getting louder and louder, I mean, what else will Jamaicans be left to say except them needing change? And, not just change, but, a big one. They just want change in leadership. So we have actually had so many speeches about, accountability and everything, but guess what? People never get to see this accountability thing, and this has been normalized to the fact that, yeah, even if you see any leader now, you'll be like, it's just like normal for them to give promises and promises, and that erodes trust like so much. So what do you think Jamaicans are saying? What do you think, guys? I need you to go to the comment section. We have a conversation here because we need to discuss. These are things that do affect us, and it doesn't affect only the few, it affects all of us, because at the end of the day, if you're a Jamaican and there is a corruption in the island, it's your taxes that will be used to cover the debt that was acquired for a certain project to run, and the project never ran, or it never really come out. It was never done. So Jamaicans, as you can see, they feel tired and they are very angry, and they are actually, blaming both political parties, leaders, and just everybody involved in the economy. We need to be faithful. We need to develop our country. We need to be transparent and accountable. Which whenever there is money that is meant to do something, let it be done. Accountability is very important, but politics is very funny, because when power changes, everything changes. Citizens of Jamaica, they still feel disappointed. They still feel angry, because corruption hurts them so much, and it's them who are left to pay for it. Wealthy people or the rich people, they mostly survive through hardships, and they can easily survive through bad systems, but the poor citizens, the poor people cannot, and they will never. So this is one of the things that really needs to be discussed, and to be put in place and to be considered, because guys, it helps us. It helps us a lot. And if you talk about everybody getting involved, and if you talk about everybody, it kind of gets uncomfortable. But some Jamaicans are saying that corruption is not just about politicians, it's also about the normal citizens. If you talk about a small bribery when you don't have, for instance, a license, you are on the road and you are caught by the police, by the traffic police. Instead of fixing the problem that you have, you give out a small bribe. That is corruption. If you buy favors, that is corruption. If you skip lines, you are queuing for something and then you skip, that's corruption. If you avoid to pay tickets, that's corruption. If you use connections and to get something, that's corruption. So as you can see, corruption is not only linked to politicians and the government, but also to everybody. And if things need to change, it needs to change from up to down and the vice versa, so that everything gets to be implemented and becomes great. So if you look at how youth perceive this corruption thing, you can see that they do have a negative perception about it, and they seem to be really frustrated. And at the end of the day, they'll feel disconnected from politics. Like they'll feel completely disconnected because they feel like some politicians only care during elections, but after they are elected, man, it's like they have never met you. In fact, they do change telephone numbers, and it's crazy. It's crazy. So if you see Jamaicans comparing their island with probably America, I mean, you can see a very different world view of the economy of each country. And you start asking yourself so many questions like, where is our tax going to? Because I understand taxes should be going to development, because at the end of the day, why are we paying taxes? It's to develop our country, right? And we're not seeing that. So where is it going and who is benefiting? And of course, that is where the question of who really benefits comes in, because now, if you are not seeing development, then who is benefiting from these taxes? And many Jamaicans are talking about wealthy people in the government who do benefit like so much from this particular corruption. Talk about political connections, talk about business contractors, talk about special treatment and access to power. All these are contributors of corruption, and of course it's a negative impact on the Jamaican people. And I can tell you the frustration will keep growing and growing. And if you see senior people in the government getting salary increment but the poor ones don't get, it's unfair, of course, like extremely unfair. So trust in Jamaican institutions have really gone down. In fact, it's a major issue in Jamaica because, guys, once the citizens have lost trust in these organizations, then everything now becomes political. Everything becomes suspicious. The courts, the police, the parliament, the anti-corruption agencies, they become suspicious. And I can tell you, at the moment, Jamaicans are so loud on debating about accountability and the systems. And, they're also calling out for the protection of whistleblowers, because, when these people come out and they tell the world about what is happening, then they easily get injured, kidnapped, or something like that. So they want policies that will protect these people from the rogue police officers and government officials. And of course, yeah, I mean, who doesn't want a beautiful country? Every one of us wants to be in a beautiful country where life is good, quality of life is awesome, better schools, better healthcare, better everything. And that's what people want, like they want their taxes to go there. So I want to thank you so much. If you watched the clip up to this particular point, I do appreciate your presence here. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Kindly subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, guys. I love you to the moon and back.